What up, guys? Kevin here. Hey, shout out to Trader Joe's. How is that place so cheap? That place is so damn cheap. I think it's cheap because when you go to like a regular grocery store, like grocery stores these days are just basically Walmarts. You got a bunch of doodads and stuff you don't need. I think that's it. You always buy crap you don't need at a regular grocery store. Trader Joe's, it's just you can only go in and get what you need. A lot of times they're probably missing a thing or two. But man, shout out to them. And shout out to the MetaQuest 3 for winning me over. So this video is about me not wanting to buy a MetaQuest 3 or a PSVR 2. But let me tell you about the journey I've been on the last few weeks. So we're coming to the end of 2023. I got my tax returns coming. Should be pretty meaty this year. I think I got a promotion coming as well, and I just switched banks, and they're going to give me hundreds of dollars just to do that. I'm like, yeah, it's time. I think it's time for me to really buy one of these VR headsets and just enjoy a new level of gaming that I experienced briefly last year when I bought the PSVR 2 and played Call of the Mountain. And I thought that was an amazing experience. But then I looked at all the other experiences on the PlayStation Store and saw not much, so I returned it. Now, cut to the end of, basically up until now, the last few weeks, I went from, all right, I'll get the PSVR 2 again, but man, there's just not that many games. And it doesn't seem that supported, and it's not good news that Firewall Ultra devs basically came out and said, yeah, we're basically going out of business and the market is just not there, hence the PSVR 2, because it's a PSVR 2 exclusive. Then I learned about the MetaQuest 3. MetaQuest 3, I'm like, oh, that's the one where it's powered by itself. I mean, cool, there's no wires or cables, but that can't be good. And then I read about the specs. I'm like, wait, that has a better resolution than PSVR 2? Wait, what are these pancake lenses? Holy shit, pancake lenses are awesome. PSVR 2, where you got to dial it in to that little itty bitty smidge of perfectness. And if you're off just by an ant's dick, things going to be blurry as hell. Yeah, MetaQuest 3 sounds awesome. And I've downloaded the app and everything. I'm like, all right, it's pretty separated from Facebook. We know it's made by the Facebook alien dude, but it's pretty separated. That's good. I don't like Facebook. No one likes Facebook. Facebook is for grandmas. Grandma's just begging you to upload new pics. So, yeah, MetaQuest 3 sounds awesome. Their library is awesome. Their refund policy is awesome. Actually, let me go back to their library games. It's awesome in a sense that I think it's backwards compatible, and it has way more games than PSVR 2 and a lot of like social type apps and even work type apps itself. Good on them there. But man, when I watched so many like best VR games across all VR games. I watched many of those videos. I don't think I could even count like 10 that I'm like, damn, I want to play that. Not even 10. Which tells me that VR is still in its infancy age. It's still a baby. Which makes sense. VR really took off the last 10 years. And I think we're still figuring it out. I'm still figuring out what VR is. I used to be like, oh, I just want like regular games, but a VR mode. But now I want games made for VR, not games with a VR mode. Not saying those games are not good, but I think I'm starting to understand, like, no, you want a VR game to be a VR game, not a normal game first and with the VR mode later. From what I can tell, I'm starting to understand that. I'm starting to wrap my head around that. But yeah, there's just no games that speak to me. There's a few. That Kayak VR game looks freaking awesome. Asgard's Wrath, I'm not really into Norse mythology, but that seems like 60 hours, and it's a free game too. So, I mean, you're going to play it with the Meta Quest 3. And then Beat Saber. I don't know about Beat Saber. I do want to get it with the Linkin Park songs. It seems like it seems like such a default game at this point. Maybe that's why I'm turned off by it. You get VR, you get Beat Saber. It don't matter. You just get Beat Saber. I think when I open up the store, it's like Beat Saber. Here you go, buy it. But other than that, you guys know I'm into JRPGs. Unless you're new here, I love JRPGs. And if there's one genre that would be perfect for VR, it's the JRPG genre. The genre itself, the games are not that graphically intensive. So, and they're cartoony. I think it would be perfect for VR. But every time I try to Google or search for JRPGs or just anime looking games on VR, I just like Desynchronia and then like Onagori or whatever it's called. Just the same 2 or 3 games I keep seeing. And even those games don't really get me excited. What's up, man? What is going on? That genre would be perfect for VR. And nothing. Now, this is where I complain about something and people tell me I'm wrong in the comments. It happens all the time. I want that to happen. And people go, oh, no, you need to check out a list of all these hundreds of thousands of games. Please tell me. And it's got to be JRPG or just anime-like or very Japanese. Don't give me that American shit like, oh, it's kind of turn-based. Don't throw Demio at me. I don't want to play Demio. But yeah, it's a shame. It's such a shame that 2024 I thought was going to be the year of VR for me. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Now all it takes is maybe 1 or 2 games to launch and me to change my mind. I think I still would prefer PSVR 2. I just like the PlayStation ecosystem and to get trophies. I think MetaQuest has achievements. You can tell me that. But yeah, it's just not there yet. And all the VR games I see on these like top lists, it's just like a lot of like gun games. Like once these lists stop being just 100% gun games, Pavlov, Synapse, stuff like that. And I'm not trying to take a dig at those games. Those games are probably really good and why they're on the list. But I think once those lists stops being less of that, maybe like 1 or 2 and not like 90% of them, I think VR will finally be there. And I think it will. VR, I think, will always be, I don't want to say niche. I think it's going to just be like the Wii or something, just a very cool thing to have around the house, to play Wii bowling, to just have friends over, hey, put this on your head and look how cool it is. But I do believe in it. I think that's everyone's experience when you use VR these days. For me, though, it's just the games are just not there. The games that I want to play are not there. They might be there for you. And the genre is just perfect. Like, I'm playing Octopath Traveler 2 right now. I know I just said, like, I don't want games made as regular games first in VR mode, but why not? Why not, like, there be a VR mode for Octopath Traveler 2? How cool would it be to be in that world? Then again, I don't know, because it is a pixelated game. I don't know if you want a pixelated game in VR, but who knows? Are there any, like, really pixelated games like that in VR? But yeah. So that's the state of VR for me. Just almost there. I'll keep my eye on the scene. And maybe I'll do an update. Maybe I'll do like, oh, here we go. This is the game that's going to get me to pull the trigger. And I might just do it anyways. I might get such a big tax refund where I just say, screw it. I'm just going to buy it and just wait for games to come. But anyways, that's all I have for today on Kev VR. See, my name's Kevin and I went Kev VR. That will be my channel name if like I get really into VR and I just make VR content. I'll be called KEV then maybe a big VR, or KE, then space VR. I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyways, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Later.